What's happening, viewers? It's El Supersonic Q, and I'm back with a normal video, I guess. I've been out of this, art loop thing for so long because of all the other, random videos that you kind of have to post at the time, or else they become like irrelevant. And I think I'm actually back on my 2 week new video basis thing, so that's pretty good. I'm kind of glad that all of that, other stuff is over, and we can actually get back into some of the series that have been going on for what seems like forever. So this episode is episode 6 to the In-Depth series, in which I'll be covering just about every single Pokemon clay model that I've made to this point. Um, I kind of didn't know how to show them, so I'm just going to be a fanboy with it and go by numerically with by the region, whatever. I guess I can go with that. Um, None of these are really recent, so some of the sculpts may be, whatever. I haven't made any Unova uh, Pokemon clay models yet because I don't know. It seems like whenever I try to make a Pokemon clay model, I don't know. It's not one of those Pokemon's not one of those series that I jump on the clay models a lot of. It just seems like that. So I have a handful of them, but not like over excessive. Okay, let's kind of jump into this video, and we can begin, as I said, in the Kanto region with Articuno. So I like this Articuno because, well, I don't know. I think the face is pretty good. I like how the face is, but the wings, I don't know. Like I wanted to do a lot with the wings, and well, this one kind of, that one's okay, but I think the wings could have done a bit better. The tail is pretty cool because it swoops over like that, so that's kind of cool. And it's moderately big, I guess. It's kind of medium, but yeah, that's the Articuno. Okay, that was it for Kanto, I guess. Now Johto with this Ampharos. So I don't really know how to describe what's great on this, so to speak, because Ampharos is kind of easy to sculpt anyway. So I'm going to say I did a good job with it because I am. The only thing that I could maybe suggest to myself is if I had glaze or something, I could have like glazed the thing to make them look shiny, like the ball thing. But I mean, it's Ampharos, so I think it looks pretty good for what it is because it does. Okay, getting into some legendaries now. Legendaries of Johto. Raikou. This is a pretty awesome Raikou in like the pose that he's in is all like, roar, I'm gonna pounce on you. So that's it's pretty cool. I actually, made these things coming out of his back rather well. I'm now looking at it, I'm kind of surprised that they look that good. I actually have wanted to make an Entei Suicune, but whenever I go to make it, it never works out. Either I don't have the right colors, or I'm just not in the mood. Uh, but his eyes are kind of detailed, too. You can't really, maybe you can't see it here, but in whatever video game Clay Figure Model video this was in, I think the picture is better. Okay, now is one that started off really strong and kind of ended up not that great, and it's the Ho-Oh. When I was first sculpting him, I mean, he looked great. And then as I put him into the oven, every minute that progressed just made him worse and worse. Why? Because he crumbled. If you notice his, like, jagged, like, stomach, which should be furry, but it's like, it's not. And his, like, legs slash feet kind of blew up. I'm going to say the wings are probably the best thing on this. The back here isn't that great. Because, I don't know, I just don't. And, the neck is. I mean, for what it is, it's good, but if I made another one now, I could probably make it better. And again, it kind of just died because of, it fell over in the oven, so. Okay, wow, that was it for Johto. Yeah, that was it for Johto. So, moving on to the Hoenn region now, with this totally random Kecleon. I remember the reason why I made this is because I had a lot of green, and I had nothing great to make. So I'm like, why not make a Kecleon? So, I guess this is pretty good for a Kecleon. I mean, if I was to make a Pokemon generally, it would probably be either a legendary or a starter. So I find it odd that I made just like a random one like this. I mean, I made him Ampharos because I have him on my team in the games, but Kecleon is kind of just like random. I have no idea why I made him, other than I had a lot of green and didn't want to make a link. Okay, legendaries of Hoenn now. this Latios, which is actually pretty great because I love how like the wings look. It's all like it looks really cool. Oh my! I just had to do that. I just had to do that. I'm sorry. Okay. The eyes are pretty good, although like just to be artistic about it. Like, see if you look at it from here, it's like it's like bulging. But I mean, like I'm not gonna cut the clay, you know, paper thin and stick it on. But I mean, I kind of like that the triangle there, and to partner up with Latios, which fits in the picture, is Latias, who I think I sculpted slightly better because of the eyes. I think the eyes just were better in this one, and she's kind of like looking over, like kind of the eye position. It just looks like it. I think the wings are better on Latios, but the overall face is better on Latias. I mean, they were kind of easy to sculpt too, anyway, because they're like just like flying things. Okay, still in the Hoenn region with this Kyogre who's really small. That was like the whole main point of this one, was to make it small, and it is small. And it's like the eyes, you probably can't see that very well in the picture, but I mean these eyes are absolutely tiny. I don't even know how I got it that like small. So that's pretty good. Yeah, I kind of like that Kyogre. It's pretty cool. And that does kind of fit. Okay, now moving on to Sinnoh is Torterra, which I will say the colors on this are probably the best they could be. I like found the perfect brown and gray, not gray, yeah, browns and greens, and I just like really love the colors on this a lot. The only thing that like bothers me to this day is Torterra's like a circle, but this is like a flat circle oval kind of thing. So if I made him more round, I think that would have helped, but other than that, he still looks pretty cool, and you can't even really notice his disformed shell, if you hold it like, that or whatever. So that's still pretty cool. I have no complaints about that. Rotom, or Rotom, whatever, however you want to be fancy with the name. This was kind of easy because, again, it was easy. Except the blue around around it. That was hard to do, especially getting it to like stand up like this, and I kind of had to flatten the bottom so it would stand up. I think he does stand up. No, maybe no, he doesn't stand up, but that was that. Heatran, which first thing that strikes me is I didn't make him like fat enough, but I know I was running out of brown at the time. That's why he's so skimpy. But the face is actually pretty good, and his spots are pretty good. But yeah, I think I could have bulked him up a little bit, and he's kind of small too anyway. So I don't know how much bigger I could have made him in the size. But I like the Heatran. The brown really like makes it work. Okay, coming to the end here. Wow, this thing is like really full. This Regigigas, which I believe is the only spot-on model, going by the video game clay figure models thing. The only Pokemon spot-on model, I want to say. Mostly just because of, I mean, like, look at that. I mean, that's the eyes and all the little braille dots and everything. I think this looks really great. Like, it looks really great. I remember, though, I tried to, like, put his arms on without smudging all the black, and it turns out that one of his arms fell off in the end anyway, so I had to, like, glue it back on, but you can't notice it at all now. I don't even remember which arm it was. Yeah, there you go. And finally, to complete this Pokemon in-depth episode, is this really tiny Darkrai, which is pretty cool because Darkrai is probably one of my favorite legendaries, if not my one favorite. So I made this, like small Darkrai thing. Why is he so small? Because I was either running out of black, or I didn't want to use as much black because I use black for shadow, and I make a lot of shadows and stuff, so I didn't want to totally deplete myself of that. But I think the detail is pretty good. I mean, for a small Darkrai. And I remember I was making an Arceus to like go with the size of this Darkrai at one point, but I never finished him, and I probably won't finish him. But he's still in the original bag because I was working on him, and then I put him in a bag and put him with like my other unfinished stuff. He's still in that original bag, and he'll probably never come out. So that's kind of it right there. Those are all the Pokemon models I believe I've sculpted, if I'm forgetting any. or if you know I'm forgetting any, then let me know, because I had to hunt through my many boxes, because as you guys may or may not know, that huge epic clay table, yeah, that had to like get packed away, so I just have a smaller one now, just because of a space issue. So I had to go through all my boxes to find these. I think this is all of them. Remember this guy? Yeah, well, he would have been in this video, but he kinda died. What happened was I had him laying around or whatever, and he broke, and he fell into a million pieces, and I've honestly lost all the pieces. I have no idea what happened to him. But we can all remember Rayquaza for his awesome glory, which also, he was the second, like, clay model that I had sculpted out of like white clay and then painted. So applause for him. Thank you, Rayquaza. Just as a side note, wow, like, it may just be me, but Pokemon has been like totally like up everywhere. Like you see the cards and the games. I mean, like the games I've been obsessing over the games like ever since Black came out. So wow, I guess we all really do live in a Pokemon world. And yes, I just made that reference to the show, which remembered this. I may be tapping into some anime related stuff soon, whether it be clay or art, because I've decided I'm gonna like kind of introduce anime a bit to my channel, so be on the watch for that. Probably it'll be introduced with clay models. You may get a collection video out of it, and maybe some other such things like drawings, which I do a lot of drawings like that. Just as a side note to keep watch for in the future. So this is El Supersonic Q wrapping up this video, and until I get more out there, Finn.